Welcome to Petty Details, where the crew gallivants down a tree-lined lane of conversation on all kinds of different subjects. Join the crew as they jump in the Wayback Machine in the quest for nuggets of knowledge. Our journey will allegedly drop some petty details on you that you didn't know you needed to know until now. Hello, crew!
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Petty Details, where we
What's
give you petty
up?
details.
Mm-hmm.
About stuff you didn't know you needed to know.
Until now.
Until
That's
now.
right. Yep. So here are my co-hosts, Cam and Monica.
Hello.
Hello.
Make sure to subscribe.
Yes.
If you want merch, let us know. And we actually do your suggestions. So
Yes.
put them out there. Let us know
Yeah.
what you want
What
to know about.
Exactly.
Yep.
Meg will do all the digging.
I will.
Will.
But today we are going
Mm.
to do another episode, riveting episode
Oh.
of Dicks of History.
Sticks of history.
Bring it on.
Oh, we've got a new theme song. Now, this one might kind of wreck your world.
Oh boy.
Wreck
Do
It
we need to
Ralph.
get tissues ready?
No, I think it's like
Okay.
one of those things where you're like, oh, this person was really amazing. And then you're like,
But were
no.
Don't
they?
don't peek behind the curtain, Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you start realizing things that they did that
Mm-hmm.
you just didn't even like really think about. So,
Ah.
Right.
Okay.
okay.
Who are we talking about?
Barbara Walters.
Whoa. Okay. Now I'm curious.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we start with the good. She
Tread
was born.
lightly.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
This episode would be walked over eggshells, everyone.
Yes.
We're gonna say allegedly a lot.
A
Right.
lot.
Yeah.
Bam.
All right. So she is born September 25th, 1929 in Boston.
Okay.
Okay.
And her early family life probably shaped what she did career-wise
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
because her father was one of those creative types with like big ideas and lots of money, but
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
not a lot of stability. And sometimes that money was just
Okay.
gone.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
So like he's making a lot of money and then he's spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
So he managed a nightclub. He was a producer on Broadway.
Okay.
Okay. You okay
Sorry,
over there?
there was a bug
Mm.
flying and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Are you sure it was a bug and it wasn't your ghost visiting you?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
can
Okay.
see it. It's one
It's
of
Barbara
the,
Walters' ghost being like,
right? Hey, bitch. No,
yeah, yeah.
it's one of those stupid ladybugs that have been everywhere.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so anyway, he's a producer on Broadway. He worked as an entertainment director at the Tropicana in Vegas.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And this means that she's around like beautiful people all the time. She
Yeah.
is around the dancers, the
Glamour.
singers, the
Right.
celebrities of the day.
Yeah. Well, in a
Okay.
Piece of
nightclub, I
history.
mean, that's a lot of nightlife. Like, that's,
And
Mhm.
Broadway and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Right.
And she's really like wowed by these people.
Mm.
Okay. I can
But
see why.
but she didn't go on to be a dancer or singer. She decided to get her bachelor's from Sarah Lawrence College in English.
Okay.
Nice.
So she starts out writing press releases for college,
Mm-hmm.
moves on to producing TV shows, but it's nothing real big.
Okay.
By the late 50s and early 60s, she's moved on to writing for TV shows and magazines. And one of those shows is the Today Show.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, because it's the early 60s, think Anchorman here when I say
Mm-hmm.
this. She becomes the Today Show's Today Girl.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah. So a Today Girl was the pretty face who did like fluff pieces in the weather.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. So petty detail here. Some of the other Today Girls were Florence Henderson, the mom from the Brady Bunch.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Lee Merriweather, who was Catwoman in the 1966 Batman movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Estelle Parsons, who was in the 1967 movie Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, wow.
And she was also Roseanne's mom on the show Roseanne.
Oh, dang.
hmm So some big names actually came from the
Yeah.
Today
Right.
Girls.
Well, so, probably a good career launcher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not until 1974 when she finally becomes more of the Barbara Walters that we all know, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
And she is kind of a badass here. She becomes the first female co-host of a news program in the United States when she gets the gig as the co-host of the Today Show.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize she
Sweet.
was the first one.
hmm And during this time, Barbara is still really kind of getting stuck in this whole Veronica Corningstone role.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
where yes, she's the co-host, but she's working with these like really difficult male anchors who didn't really want a woman sharing that seat.
That's
If they
crazy.
wanted anyone sharing it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, let alone a woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but she's still like plowing through all this chauvinistic bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And she becomes one of the highest paid anchors of all time.
Oh,
Oh,
crap.
wow.
And that
Okay.
time, which is a
Yeah.
big
Right.
deal.
Right.
Um, she moves to ABC.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mhm.
starts co-hosting the evening news. And then in 1979, she gets the gig she would be most known for, which is the co-host of 2020.
Okay.
Right.
I'm very curious how she made it on the list of dicks of history versus badass women. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really waiting for this jump here.
There's a drop off.
Yeah.
We don't see it yet.
No, it's coming though.
You can be
It's
both.
coming.
There's a Venn diagram, and
Well,
Barbara
Yeah.
Walters is in the middle of dicks of history and
true.
badass women.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very true.
For
Okay, that
real.
is a good point.
Um, and she's doing all kinds of these groundbreaking things, right? Like
Yeah,
she's being a moderator for presidential debates.
right.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
is interviewing world leaders and celebrities.
Mhm.
And she interviewed pretty much anybody who was anybody from the Shah of Iran to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, she had some heavy hitting interviews
Oh, yeah.
in
Right.
her career,
Yeah.
for sure.
And she is known for this like hard hitting journalism. Like she's not
Mhm.
doing a bunch of fluff pieces.
Right.
She was
Right.
like, she
She's asking the
didn't really
questions.
care. She was asking those questions
hmm
that literally everybody wanted to know. But,
Right.
when some agents are like, no, don't talk about that topic, she was like,
Right. She
Right.
was
"Here I
getting the
am."
petty details before
She
we were.
was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
She's the original petty detailer.
she's also got this very professional demeanor, right?
Mm.
Hmm.
And like we just said, she doesn't shy away from the tough questions.
Right.
Right.
Even this one got me because I don't remember this, but she even asked Fidel Castro about his ideas on freedom, and then she disagreed with him to his face.
I don't remember that one either. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about a brass pair right
Right?
there.
Yeah.
Did we lose Cam?
So she then goes on to The View,
Mhm.
where
Okay.
she really pushes this idea of women being able to speak their minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And in about 2010, after almost 50 years in the business of
Mhm.
being one of the most well-known anchors in the world,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
she starts to slow down, but she doesn't retire.
Okay.
Mhm.
She starts doing like more specials
Yeah.
because she can do what she wants now.
Pretty
Right,
much.
right, right.
I mean, she's Barbara Walters. Duh.
Yeah,
Right.
she's like, look at the material.
Exactly.
Right.
I've done all of
Um,
this.
Here's my
yeah.
resume.
Right.
And she has a Sirius XM radio show.
Okay.
Mhm.
And her last interview was with Donald Trump in 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
So her personal life was pretty private. You didn't hear a lot about what was going on in her life, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She was married and divorced 4 times, which I did not
Okay.
know.
I did
Okay.
not know that either.
Yeah. With her longest marriage being about 13 years.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
she had trouble with miscarriages, so she adopted a baby girl.
Okay, I was just
Aw.
gonna ask, did she have any kids? So she adopted.
Mhm.
Okay.
But this woman was given so many awards, I couldn't even name them all.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah.
She's got
Well, I mean,
everything.
her career was, look how long her career was
Right.
and
Pretty
the
amazing.
type of work she did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can only
Yeah.
imagine the awards that rolled in.
Breaking that
And
glass ceiling.
Yeah.
no, she really did.
Multiple glass ceilings.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. So she is in the Television Hall of Fame. She's got Emmys, NAACP awards, Lifetime Achievement Awards. She's even got her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which I didn't know
Ah,
either.
I did not realize that she had that. Okay.
should have looked for it while I was there.
That's right. All
Instead, I
right.
found salt and pepper, which is crazy.
Hey.
I took a
Nice.
picture of it because I was like, my mom's gonna love this.
Hey,
Like, let's
they
go.
deserve it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Real good. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. But Baba Wawa, as Gilda Radner played her on Saturday Night Live,
Right.
Baba
I am
Waba.
Baba Wawa.
isn't on Dicks of History episode for no reason.
Clearly,
Oh,
there's something there.
Okay, you ready to get into it?
All
I'm
right,
about
Let's
to
do
rock
back
this.
the
your
curtain.
world.
Right.
I'm about
Here's
to rock your
that
world.
What's
cliff we were
there?
talking about.
Yeah.
Mhm. So let's start with some of the examples of her questionable interview techniques
Okay.
and questions/comments.
Okay.
So we are going to start with Corey Feldman.
Mm-hmm.
He went on The View in 2013.
Okay.
Okay.
And he starts talking about something that he's like really passionate about.
Mhm.
And he has really been a voice for over the years.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's been a big advocate against child molesters, especially in Hollywood.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey is talking about how there are still people in Hollywood that are currently working
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that abused both him and Corey Haim.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't name names,
Right.
Mhm.
but he does say, hey,
Hey.
They're still out
working.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's trying to tell people, like what they should look for if they want to
Right.
be in this
A
business as a
warning.
child
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Walters looks at him and says, quote, "You're damaging an entire industry." Like, what?
I'm sorry. That entire industry
Whoa.
damaged him. Poor kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Is that not the most tone deaf reaction to
No,
what he's
for
talking about?
real.
Like,
Absolutely tone deaf. Completely.
what the
That's
hell?
crazy.
So,
Yeah.
obviously, because it's 2013, the internet goes wild.
Oh, they
Yeah.
went batshit. Yeah.
Yeah. People on Twitter were even apologizing to Corey Feldman for Barbara Walters.
On her
Damn.
behalf. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Like, hey, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You're
seriously.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
she never
God.
apologized or really said anything about it.
Because
That's
again,
wild.
she's Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
She's gonna do what she wants.
All right.
Dang.
That's wild.
You ready for this next one?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's hear it.
Okay. In 2000,
Mm-hmm.
she interviewed Ricky Martin,
Okay.
who had at the time had not come out,
Right.
but the
Right.
rumors
Yeah.
were swirling.
Oh, the rumors
Right.
were there from day
Mhm.
one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Living La Vida Loca.
For
Right.
real.
Yeah. But he hadn't come out and said anything yet. So
Right.
Right.
she asks him about the
No.
rumors.
Like just
And-
straight up.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
awkward.
And
Seriously.
he tries to play it off and he says something about how sexuality should be dealt with by people in their own way.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Hey,
Basically,
great answer.
Very well
Honestly,
handled. Very well
yeah,
answered.
if
Yeah.
you're not ready to come out yet, honestly, great answer.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously. Well, and
he-
in that format, like honestly,
Right.
that's a huge platform. And why,
Right?
if that's not what
Absolutely.
your choice is, then don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's basically saying it's none of your damn business, but he's
Mhm.
saying
Pretty
it
much.
nicely.
Very nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very diplomatically. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
But she keeps pushing this. And she is like, you can say you're gay or you're not gay. And he gets super uncomfortable. Like, this is a
Wow.
Well,
cringe
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Can
And
you imagine?
he just tells her
No.
he's not going to answer.
That's crazy.
And
Which almost is an answer, you
It,
know?
it can be, yeah.
and he ended up saying later that he felt like really violated by the questioning and how she
Yeah.
kept
Yeah.
pushing the issue.
Well, and
Right.
I mean, when he answered the way he answered, that should have been the end of
Right.
it. Like,
Leave it
Right.
it
alone.
should have just been dropped
Right.
at that point.
Hmm.
That is
Yeah.
your indicator as a interviewer. Like, yes, you were there to like dig,
Yeah.
but
But
that is your
stop.
indicator. Like, hey, the person you're interviewing also has to trust you for you to get answers,
Right.
Exactly.
and that is their
And
indicator to you to stop.
right.
Hmm.
And yeah, you're there to dig, but really, is it that important that you get that specific
Yeah.
answer? Like,
Right.
No.
come on.
Right.
All right. So then she somehow thought it was also appropriate to ask a presidential candidate about his weight and why he was
Oh,
overweight and didn't diet.
Oh,
No, like she says that.
that's great.
oh, damn. Which presidential candidate was that?
Um, I don't remember. It's not one that
Yeesh.
you would recognize really, but um, I really don't know
Either
what that
way.
has to do with him trying to be president.
Well, it has absolutely
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. On one, okay, this is stupid, but on one hand, no, it has absolutely nothing to do with him being president. But on the other hand, how many times do
Uh,
female celebrities, female
all the time.
politicians, female
Oh,
anything
bury
Hmm.
that.
get these same sort of
Bury
Right.
that.
fluff questions that
Yeah.
have
Right.
absolutely nothing to do with whatever it is they're trying to
Hmm.
do?
Right. Let's talk about your
You know,
body,
so
your
it's
weight,
like,
your image.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the
Right.
article will start with what she was wearing.
right.
Right. Right.
Uh-huh.
And as frustrating as that is, like, it's also very cringe because Barbara Walters is a female. She should recognize that those kinds of questions are not cool.
Maybe that was her get back at the guys. She's
And
like, let's ask
maybe.
him about the.
Yeah, and it may, I mean, it may very well have been. I have no
So
idea, but
you're wearing a very revealing shirt.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Just like the top buttons unbuttoned. It's
Yeah.
very scandalous for
Ew,
interview.
so scandalous.
So you ready for it to get worse?
Oh goodness.
Oh God.
And this is where you're gonna start, I think, having some
Turning.
problems with her legacy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, there's also apparently an interview with Suzanne Summers,
Okay.
Mhm.
and I could not find it. But where she brings in some magazine where Suzanne had posed topless,
Okay.
and
Okay.
she starts shaming her about it while opening the magazine,
Oh my
What?
God.
only to find out later that the pictures of Suzanne in this magazine weren't authorized and had been put in the magazine without her permission.
Oh my gosh.
So she's shaming her for something that she actually
didn't
didn't
even-
do
Mhm.
Right.
because she didn't
First
consent to
of
them being
all,
included. Like,
right.
wow.
First of all, that's terrible to shame someone over that. Second of all, you're a journalist, do your research on that
Seriously.
before you decide that that's something you're going to make a point in your interview.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Oh, but there's
Crazy, crazy.
more.
There's always
Oh,
I
I'm
more.
sure
can
there
I
is,
can
yeah.
just tell by Meg's
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Um, this one's bad. Okay.
Yikes.
Her interview with Brooke Shields,
Mhm.
who
Mhm.
had been a model at like 15 years old for
Yeah,
Calvin
there's
Klein, among
been-
others.
Yeah.
So Barbara gets this interview with 15-year-old Brooke.
Mhm.
She's
Okay.
15 in this interview.
Okay.
And she starts asking her things like, what are your measurements?
No.
Do you have
Dude.
any secrets from your mother? And then, because there's always more, she even asked a 15-year-old about her sexual history on TV.
Oh my God.
What?
Do you have any secrets from your mother? No, they're secrets, dumbass. Why am I going to tell you anything?
Right.
Right. And who
Either
have you
way,
slept
but
with?
yeah, like, and I know
Insane.
there's a bunch of controversy around her at 15 Brooke Shields because
Yeah.
she was in a movie and there's a scene and yeah.
Mhm.
So
And I
that,
can't believe that she would ask anybody that, but
Let
especially a
alone-
15-year-old girl.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
So
just-
Brooke said later that the interview was practically criminal.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn.
scarring
These just
for
keep
a
getting
Yeah.
worse
child.
and worse. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, I believe it.
It's snowballing.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Um, and these are in like no particular date order.
Yeah.
Right.
They're in more order of how bad they get.
What the
Right.
F? Yeah.
Okay, so another example. Barbara gets an interview with Monica Lewinsky after the
Okay.
whole Bill
Okay.
Clinton scandal.
Okay.
Yeah, naturally.
Right.
Barbara literally puts the weight of the affair on Monica and not Bill
Ew.
by,
You're kidding.
yeah, by
Ew.
Okay,
saying,
I take back her women, whatever. Yeah, no.
Badass women of
Badass
history.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying it's
That's
really hard
crazy.
with this
You
one.
Yeah.
to be a role model for women and such a strong woman in your own career and then to tear down other women
Yeah.
is insane as your
Mm-hmm.
legacy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
insane.
And to place something like that square on the shoulders of anyone,
Right.
person,
Mhm.
when there are two people involved,
Yeah.
Yep.
two people making conscious decisions, like this
Mm-hmm.
was not just her choice.
Yeah, no.
This
Right.
was his as well. Like
Right.
Mhm.
consenting adults doing whatever, but
Yeah.
it's on both of them. Like
Right.
So Barbara actually asks her, "Where is your self-respect?"
Dude, look in the mirror.
seriously.
What
Oh
the
my
hell?
God. Wow.
She then asks Monica what she will tell her kids when they find out about this later in life. And Monica tries to answer honestly, and she says
Mhm.
something like, mommy made a mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Barbara ends the interview by saying that's an understatement.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Like I have
I told you
have
this
no
one was going to
words.
rock your world
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
because you're like, oh, she got all these interviews. And then you're like, oh, she was an asshole in all these
Right. What the
interviews.
Yeah.
fuck is she doing?
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Okay. This is not the only time that Barbara Walters slut shamed, though.
Not shocked. Not
Right.
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say not
Right.
anymore.
So she interviewed Chelsea Handler and she
Mm-hmm.
asked about her sexual past. And Chelsea, being Chelsea,
Yeah.
said that she was promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
And Barbara goes, quote, I like men, but I wouldn't call myself promiscuous.
You've
Says
been
the
married
woman
4
who's
times,
been 4 times, right?
Seriously. Wow.
Crazy.
And then she goes on to start asking Chelsea if she would have relations with a woman.
Like,
And
what is your deal? Like, I don't know, man. That's just like these are left field questions. Like,
Mhm.
right. And
that's not
what the fuck? Like, who,
right. Where is this
why
coming
would you do
from?
this? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Chelsea is kind of a badass here. And she shuts her down by saying something like, I wish I was so I could help you with this interview.
Ah.
Uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
oh, but it gets better
Of course it
because this is petty details. So
does. Naturally.
in
Mhm.
1985,
Mm-hmm.
Barbara gets an interview with a super famous by this point, Barbara Streisand,
Okay.
Right.
and literally asks her, quote, why didn't you have your nose fixed?
Oh my
Can you believe
God.
that? Seriously?
No. Like,
That's
what?
incredibly horrible. Like,
Hey,
It's just so rude.
like,
seriously.
what
Well,
world
and
are you
okay.
living in?
And
That
honestly,
just
if you want to sit here and nitpick about Barbara Streisand's nose, like, can we talk about Barbara Walters' accent?
Right.
Like, you can go to speech therapist and get that fixed too.
Yeah.
Like, what? She is literally made fun of
right.
on SNL
Oh, yeah.
for her accent. Like,
Yeah.
but if you want to nitpick, like, okay, let's turn the
Right.
lens on yourself a little bit. Like,
Right,
wow.
I just
right.
can't believe how rude she is. Like, I can't,
That's
Seriously, again,
insane.
a brass pair.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
Streisand responds with, "I thought my nose went with my face."
Nice.
Nice.
Fantastic answer.
Okay, this one pissed me off.
Oh shit.
This one?
This
Yeah,
one, yeah. No,
there are a
this
couple of
one.
them that really, really pissed me off.
Meg's like, I did an interview with Barbara Walters, and yeah.
Pretty much. So if anybody knows me, we're going to talk about how she also asked one of my favorite people in the world, Celine Dion.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So
Oh
Meg
no,
only
what
has
did she do?
sympathy for like a handful of people, and somehow Celine Dion is
Celine
on
is
that
one of
list
them.
of people that Meg has sympathy for. I don't.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean,
I
Yeah, well,
absolutely love
yes,
her.
but
Yeah.
yes.
And it's not even like her music that I really love, like just as a person. Anyway,
Yes.
right.
so she asks Celine if she was so thin because she had an eating disorder or was she just naturally thin? So
What
she's like
is it?
big on this body shaming
What
thing.
Is it
the hell?
genetics, or do you throw up after you eat every time? What?
Why would you ask that?
That's
Seriously.
none of your business. Like, and
And
not
also,
not only is it none of your business, it's also none of the business for the people watching at all.
Right.
seriously,
Like,
she's such a strong individual that has such a huge platform, and she could have geared these interviews in such different ways.
to lift
Yeah.
these people, like to ask questions that would lift these people up, give them a platform. Like this is a platform again
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
them to express what they do. Here, like, here's my message to the people. This is what I want to say. Instead, ripping them to shreds
Yeah.
in this way is just crazy.
And things about slut shaming, body
and I was
Right.
gonna
shaming,
say, I guess I
sexual
never paid
history.
attention. Yeah, I never really paid attention or
Uh-huh.
caught that a lot of her questions are very very shaming,
Uh-huh.
very whether
Mhm.
it's body shaming or slut shaming or
Yep.
whatever. It's
Shutting
very
Right.
down Corey Feldman about child molestation. I'm like,
Right.
seriously.
really?
That it's very telling that she wants to reveal these things about these certain people, but when it's the people that are like high in Hollywood, then she's like, "Oh no, no, you're tearing up
Yeah.
a whole group of people that we
Right.
shouldn't even talk about." Like, no, no,
Yeah.
you're a journalist, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
You're supposed to be unbiased,
Right.
technically.
Okay, this one also pissed me off. All of these pissed me off, but there, like I said, there were a couple that you just
Yeah.
don't do. Celine being one of them.
Right.
Mhm.
She also commits the ultimate sin.
Oh God.
Did she interview Milli Vanilli?
No.
No.
Well, she might have, but it's not on my list.
I
Not
just,
yet.
it's your
Yeah,
passion
yeah.
project, so I had to ask.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a
so
Barbara Walters part two, just Milli Vanilli interview.
just Millie Vanilli,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so she commits the ultimate sin by being shitty to the saint, Dolly Parton.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
No. That you're gonna piss everybody off.
I,
Get her star off the
Right,
right?
Hollywood
right.
Hall of Fame. Get it out of there.
Yeah.
You do
Um,
not mess with Dolly.
no. So in 1977, Barbara asks her almost like passive aggressive question.
Mm.
And she says, if I would have met you, like in the past,
Hmm.
would I have called you a hillbilly?
And Dolly has always been very upfront with where she came from,
Mhm.
what
Right.
her roots are. Like,
Yeah.
she is a coal miner's daughter. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Dolly, in her perfect way,
Hmm.
brushes off the question with a joke.
Yeah.
good for her.
But Barbara just hits harder, basically asking about Dolly's chest, saying, is that all you?
She sounds jealous, is what she sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But Dolly again brushes her bullshit off and says it's totally okay to have plastic surgery if you want to. But she
Right.
doesn't confirm or deny that she's had it.
Yeah.
Okay. Being the queen that she is.
Right. But Barbara doesn't stop there.
Of course not.
This pissed me off so much. She says, quote, you know you don't have to look like this.
What the hell?
No, she doesn't have to, but she wants to, so that's
She
enough.
she better be glad that Dolly Parton is like a really
A
freaking nice
saint.
person. Because if she asked this to normal people, she'd be getting her ass beat on the fucking
Oh
street.
yeah.
I guarantee you.
Oh yeah.
Because like, what the hell? You do not ask people these questions. Like,
Yeah.
what? That's crazy.
And Dolly, being the badass that she is,
Mm-mm.
keeps her cool and class throughout this whole interview, which is on the
Good
Right.
for
internet.
her. Yeah.
Which makes it more impressive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But what nerve to ask those questions of
Oh,
I
someone.
for real. Like,
honestly, again, there's
crazy.
a line. Like, I understand, yes, you are a journalist. Yes, you
Right.
need to ask the difficult questions, whatever. But there's a line. Like, there is
There's,
absolutely
Yeah.
a
these are
line, and
also
she crossed
people
it
that you are talking
every
to. Yeah.
Mhm.
exactly. Like, these are
Right.
human beings.
Like,
Treat
yes,
them
they're
with
celeb.
some respect and dignity. Like,
Right. But
Yeah.
they are still human.
yeah.
Crazy.
Is there more?
Yeah.
Or oh
Oh,
shit.
oh no.
Um, somehow, Barbara takes it a step further than just slut shaming and body shaming.
Of course.
Dude.
She is doing an interview with Robin Gibbons and Mike Tyson.
Okay.
They
Alright.
were together. Okay.
Okay.
And there were all kinds of stories about how he abused her. Like he beat her ass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like on the level of Rihanna and Chris Brown shit.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
And yeah, I can't even believe that she did this. Because she could have put her at
Major risk.
major
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
Barbara does the most incomprehensible thing. She asks Robin in front of Mike if he ever hits her. Like that's gonna make Robin's life better.
Oh
No.
my God. No,
Like, how is she
Like,
supposed to answer that?
there is
right.
only one way
First of
she
all,
can answer that. Like, even
yeah.
regardless of what's happening, because if it is happening and she answers in the positive, then she's screwed.
Right.
Um, there's literally only one way she can answer that question. What
Yeah.
the
And
hell?
like you, I guess not, but I was like, as a journalist, you know, she's probably talked to like victims and
Mm-hmm.
survivors of that type of stuff, and she's still that like tone deaf in that way of just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not caring and just asking. It's
She's
like,
she's victim blaming at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
right, you're like, what are you talking about? Like, you're putting this person in
Oh yeah.
major, like a horrible place
Yeah. She's
of
putting
like,
Robin's
absolutely.
life at risk for
of
real.
Yes.
yeah, dangling freedom in front of her, and like if she goes for it, well, then obviously there's gonna be, you know what I mean? If the rumors are true, then there's gonna be something, horrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's crazy. I
Okay.
cannot believe that. To just be so closed off from like yes, you're this whatever, but just to be closed off from reality almost at a
Hmm.
point of like,
So disconnected from reality that,
Yeah.
right,
and tone deaf, like you
where,
said, completely tone deaf.
yep,
Exactly.
on her high horse. Just that's crazy.
And if that hasn't ruined her legacy enough in your mind, as we've seen, Barbara, who claimed to be and was looked upon as this like woman warrior paving the way for women in journalism,
Yeah.
Hmm.
did the exact same shit that male journalists were accused of. Talking about weight, pushing people on
Hmm.
sexual preferences, slut shaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Diane Sawyer biography comes out.
I vaguely remember this saga.
And Diane lays out how Barbara didn't really like the competition. She thought that if any other woman gained in the industry, that it would mean that she lost something.
See, and that's why
Crazy.
tearing down other people
Right.
does not elevate you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
no.
Yeah, and
Right.
she really wouldn't even acknowledge other women journalists behind the scene.
That's crazy.
It's just insane. Like the network that could have been created.
Right.
Mhm.
You
The
had the
powerhouse.
potential
Yeah.
to create an all women journalist like news network, anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
And
Like, I mean,
after all this shit, then she has the balls to make the View
right,
about
right,
women.
yeah.
right. Crazy.
So Diane Sawyer also said that Barbara hated her because she was younger and better looking.
That was always going to happen. Like there's
Right.
always going to be
Right.
somebody younger.
Right.
Hmm.
And because I mean it was true, but
Well, I mean, yes, it's not wrong, but still.
yeah. But she said the barber would quote knife her anytime that she could get it.
Knife her physically
No,
or
just
okay.
being a shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like,
Yeah.
physically knifing someone is crazy.
Yeah.
So Barbara even went so far as to be catty about where the two were staged in a picture with Richard Nixon.
Oh,
God.
Yeah, she
okay.
gloated that she was in the middle of the picture while Diane was at the edge.
Whatever.
Uh,
Like how petty is?
seriously,
Yeah,
like what?
also, I
Who?
don't know if you want to brag about being closer to Richard Nixon. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
exactly. I was
Right.
gonna say that's not necessarily the best thing to,
Right.
Yeah.
brag about. It's my crowning achievement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And apparently, when Diane was hired by ABC and got her own show, which is the same network that Barbara was on,
Yeah.
Mhm.
she told an executive how great it was, then called him back about a half an hour later to say that now that she had thought about it, she opposed her. She opposed Diane getting this show.
What?
After she thought about it, sure.
Right, right.
So this was known by the whole staff at NBC or at ABC.
Hmm.
This was not a
Talk,
secret.
talk about awkward
No,
holiday
for
parties.
real.
Right. And it made the whole staff think that Barbara was looking at Diane, who actually used to be a beauty queen,
Oh,
as
Okay.
a younger, prettier version and therefore a threat. So people saw this behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
that's crazy.
Well, and it's interesting though, like I don't know. I guess I always interpreted Diane Sawyer's interviews as more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not even really like the content themselves, but just the way she carried herself.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Just more
Because
serious.
she's
She
not
still
asking
interviewed
these
Yeah.
whack
celebrities.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, she still interviewed celebrities, Diane Sawyer did. Like
Oh
Diane
yeah.
Sawyer got a lot of interviews on her own too.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
On the same caliber as Barbara Walters, but like I don't know, just carried herself differently.
Yeah. And she doesn't ask some of these questions that Barbara would.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
There's nothing out there saying Diane Sawyer ever did anything like that.
Right.
Um, so Barbara also tried to steal multiple stories from Diane,
Oh.
including one with Bill Clinton, and this is before the whole Monica Lewinsky thing.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And apparently, the fighting between Barbara and Diane got so intense over this interview that an ABC executive got involved and almost called the interview off entirely.
Oh shit.
Wow.
You guys can't play nicely. You can't
Right.
interview him at all.
Right.
Hmm.
Nobody's going to get it.
No
Right.
Bill Clinton for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they had to play nice in front of people, and so they would fake a good relationship,
Uh
right?
Two-Face.
Yeah.
yeah.
So any picture you see out there where they're like standing together, like
Hmm.
smiling at each other, is
Mhm.
just fake.
Wow.
Then there's a story where Barbara was talking to NBC's Andrea Mitchell,
Hmm.
Ooh.
just talking to her. And Andrea happened to mention that she was going to interview Fidel Castro.
Okay.
Okay.
Instead of Barbara being happy for her,
Of course.
she calls and gets her own interview with Castro
No.
and
God.
somehow talks him out of giving an interview to Andrea.
No
That's
way.
insane.
Andrea didn't find this out that she wasn't going to interview Castro until she had already landed in Cuba.
Oh
So
my.
you let oh my God. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
You let this
Wow.
a waste of money and a trip to
Yeah.
Yeah.
freaking Cuba.
Can
That's
you
crazy.
imagine? So, Andrea would later say, quote, nothing gets between Barbara and a story.
Evidently
Clearly
not.
not.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Deborah Roberts,
Oh, geez.
who worked on 2020 with Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
She also learned very quickly not to tell Barbara what story she was working on.
Oh, wow. Like,
And yeah, so she said later, quote, if it was an idea that she liked, next thing I know, my story would be shut down and Barbara would be doing it.
that's ew. That's gross.
Right.
To be that type of person, like, mm-mm.
Yeah. But this wasn't something new.
Yeah. No, this behavior doesn't just happen.
No.
Doesn't
Right.
just start happening.
So
Yeah.
apparently, Barbara had basically clawed her way into the Today Show host position back in the day.
Okay.
There was a woman named Anita Colby
Okay.
who was on the show in the 60s.
Okay.
She said that Barbara was catty and said that Anita was, quote, the face, but was, quote, limited as a performer.
Ooh.
Ow.
Yeah. Barbara would also apparently stand in the broadcasting area and mouth the words that she had written for Anita while she was broadcasting. Because remember, Barbara was writing at this point.
Right.
So she's almost like making sure that Anita said the words right.
This is crazy.
That is just wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Micromanaging much?
Yeah.
Right.
So there
Seems
you
like a
go.
stressful life, bro. Like,
Yeah.
just relax, dude. Not that serious.
Right.
It's really not.
So
Wow.
Barbara died in 2022 after suffering from dementia. And
Mhm.
she, like we said, she did some great work
I
by
mean, she
carving the way
Right.
for
did.
women.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the hard part, I guess, is, well, for me, is recognizing how much more of a powerhouse she could have been,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
or how much more she could have done for journalism as a whole,
Oh,
but
yeah.
specifically women in
yep.
journalism. And, it's like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
ugh.
And in
Yep.
public, she's like, fighting for women to be, taken seriously in the
But
Right.
yet you turn
journalism
around and ask
industry.
these questions
Right. But she doesn't
that,
want
Right.
her,
Right.
she doesn't want any of them to be better than her.
right. But that's, I mean, yeah. That's not okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a mixed bag with her because she was good for women and also not so good for women.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
She built the ladder and then kicked it off.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
So
wow.
take it as you may,
Crazy.
but she's got to
Right.
be included as a dick of history.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Like Cam said, there's a Venn diagram. You can be a badass woman and a dick of
Mm-hmm.
And a
history.
dick.
Yeah.
And there's Barbara Walters.
Mm-hmm.
Baba Wawa in the middle.
Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa.
Yeah. But yeah, it
Crazy.
it floored me how much
Yeah.
was out there about how shitty she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Crazy. That is just
Mhm.
absolutely insane.
There are whole pages and Reddits like talking about some of these interviews.
Jeez. Well, and that's the craziest part, right? Is that these this made it onto television. Like these
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
interviews, these questions, they made it into the interview.
Yeah.
Like in
Yep.
today's world, some of those would not have ever made it past, they would have
Oh
ended up
yeah.
on the editing room floor or whatever.
Or Barbara would have been
Mhm.
canceled.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just, that's the craziest part is like,
Hmm.
no, it's out there for the world to hear and see.
Hmm.
Because this
Mhm.
stuff happened and it was filmed.
Yeah. And
It
that's
was
the thing is
recorded.
like you can see that it happened all the way from the beginning of her career to the end of her career. Like
Yeah.
it didn't stop.
No.
Right.
It's not like, oh, she had a bad year and she was just asking shitty questions, in 1985. No.
Right. This was her
Right.
entire career. This is how she built her career.
Hmm.
Right. Right. She's
Mm.
basically the mouth of gossip almost. They're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I hear these people want to hear about this. Like, this isn't a good thing to ask, but I'm gonna ask it anyway
Hmm.
because that's what people
Because the
want to
public
gossip
wants to
about.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
even though some of this the public does not want to know.
No. Uh-uh.
No, no.
So yeah, there you go. Barbara Walters, Dick of History.
Crazy.
R.I.P. I guess.
Yeah. That is just that. Wow.
Yeah. All
It
right.
takes all kinds.
So
Yeah.
stay petty, my friends, but not as petty as Barbara Walters.
Seriously,
No,
don't be a dick of history.
don't do
That's for
that.
sure.
Yeah, because she did some petty shit for real.
For real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Bye.
See
later.
ya.